Hello, my friends. This is Paul, and welcome to A Common Touch of Fantasy. Today is Sunday, so it is Sunday's Shorts. So last week I had two stories picked out to discuss this week. So we're going to talk about these stories in detail, including some spoilers. If you're probably not going to read these stories, it's okay. Go ahead and watch. But we'll be discussing the entire story. Alright, so the first one that I put down was Combustion Hour by Yoon Lee. And this is the eschatology of shadow puppets. So I was looking for short stories to read, and some guy was like, yeah, I read Combustion Hour, and it was my favorite short story in this entire list of short stories. And so I was like, okay, I'll check that out. So I added it to the list. So I didn't really look into it. And I struggle reading stories in second person. I just can't do it. I don't know why, but second person stories just make no sense to me half the time. And the scene to use and the yours is very distracting for me, and I hate to admit it, but I did not finish this short story. Basically, from what I gathered, it was describing a shadow puppet story, and I just did not like that. I thought that was too gimmicky. Yes, it's original, but do we really need to describe a story as shadow puppets? I don't think we do. So I didn't finish it. I'm sorry, guys. I just didn't want to read the rest of it. I read probably like 7 or 8 pages. I was getting absolutely nothing out of it. So yeah. So if someone that has read it, if you want to discuss it below, that would be great. So I can find out what happened. Something about like a black jewel, I think, and they had to go get it. Something, and there was a queen, and I think at the end he ends up killing the queen. But yeah, didn't finish it. Sorry. Okay, and the second short story was Reborn by Ken Liu. Okay, and this was another weird story because the pronouns in this were changed so that, like, I became something meaning the man in the alien, because the aliens were more of like a collective group, and so the humans got reborn from the aliens. So the aliens came down, they reborn the humans by putting like some thing in their back, and they basically wiped their memories and replaced them with like soothing thoughts of the aliens, you know. I think it was Taiwans, which I thought was very odd. So more likely it's some like political statement of China and Taiwan in this story. Anyways, I just thought of that now. Anyways, yeah, so our main person in this story is like a detective, and he is together with one of these aliens, and it describes them like being intimate, and that was just weird and made me uncomfortable. Well, anyways, they kind of like share the same mind, and so whenever the alien finds out that he's like thinking too many thoughts about his old life, then the alien like reborns the guy, and they find out that the bombing and the killing of some of these aliens, Thailand, whatever. I'm gonna say Taiwan, even though it's wrong. And he ends up finding out that it was actually him involved in this group, but he couldn't remember because he just got reborn again. But he found out that like a long time ago, him, his family got slaughtered by a bunch of these aliens, and they're supposed to have changed since then, the aliens themselves too, but he saw like his family all slaughtered by the aliens, but now he's all buddy with the aliens. But he finds out that through like a recording of his own that he is a part of the terrorist group basically against these alien forces, and he then decides to die basically. The good part at the end was the changing of the pronouns. So before they used like things like "thur" and "their," weird stuff like that, and that was really distracting, to be honest. I looked online. I was like, did I get a corrupted file? So I went online to look for the story, and then I was like, no, this is a part of the story. It's just a bunch of words like this. And then I realized that they were replacing their pronouns to include each other. But at the end, it was all about the I. You know, I choose this, I did this, I do that. And it's all about, you know, freedom. And I'm thinking that this is a political piece with China and Taiwan, or Taiwan wants to be totally separate from the Chinese, and, you know, they don't want to be under their rule anymore. So, this was interesting. The weird use of the pronouns was definitely off-putting, and the weird, like, intimacy with the aliens was just not needed, and basically the one scene described him being raped by the alien by, like, at the very beginning, like the first Reborn. He didn't want it, and that was just very uncomfortable. I didn't like that. So I gave this one a 3, just because I was uncomfortable a couple of times, and yeah, the pronoun thing was distracting. If it was just like a straight up story about like the aliens and, you know, coming down and infiltrating and raising people's minds and stuff, I think it would have went over better. I think it would have worked better. The whole tentacle thing was just not needed at all. Alright, so those are the ones we read this week. Let me know how you felt about those. Did you like those? Did you like the Combustion Hour, if you read it? Did you like Reborn? What are your thoughts about Reborn? Is it a political piece with China and Taiwan? I kind of got that from it. Let me know if you think that might be it. Next week, we're going to go with another Tor.com best of last year, and that is Jo Walton, Sleeper. Go check out Jo Walton's short story. I've never read anything by Jo Walton. Everyone loves her on BookTube, so this will be my first Jo Walton experience. So Jo Walton, Sleeper, and it's in that bestoftor.com, and I'll put the link below. And also, I really want to read this. The George R.R. Martin story from Dangerous Women, the anthology. It's The Princess and the Queen by George R.R. Martin. I'm going to read that as well. If you want to read that too, that's great, but I probably won't be able to find that online for free. So, there you go. So, thanks for watching this week's video. I said what's going on next week, and just let me know below, like, did you read any good short stories this last week? What did you think of the ones that you read? You know, comment, discuss things, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. See you guys.